Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Had a nice morning so far. Um, I'm going to be talking about when patience is no longer a virtue and pattern recognition in people with emotional mental illnesses or drug-related problems can turn, or injuries. There's different reasons why a person would be out of sorts, but their patterns and how long does it go on, and how long do we keep um, extending our kindness towards people that don't return that kindness to us. That's my topic today. Before I get a little deeper into that, I want to talk to somebody that I saw did a pretty cool combination, starting out with a palm strike, pretty good palm strike. But I gotta say, I would have got in on it. It was a bit slow. I'll tell you why. I'm not being an asshole here. This is for your own protection. Um, you know how Lee said, be like water? If you're thinking about your combo when you go into it, and you may have practiced it many, many times, practice it without the thought in mind. Try and clear your mind of your combination before you do it. Does that make sense? Flow with it and be in it instead of having it come from out of you. Become it. Do you see what I'm saying there? And that I'm really, really saying what I saw. Because another artist, maybe with different arts or skills, would have took that as a big opportunity. Um, anyway, I just had to make a point. You know, another thing Bruce Lee said, not that I haven't practiced many kicks, because I've studied most arts on this planet and accomplished quite a few. Um, he said you can, it's not the man that practiced 10,000 kicks. It's the one that practiced one kick 10,000 times. Just a couple of things that the old sensei said to us, I just thought I'd bring that to your attention, because when you're battling with people that can run up walls, or I knew one dude ran sideways on a wall. It's like, if you're, or they're a dancer, if you're battling a dancer, they're way more limber and way more quick. you know you might want to take up dancing and get out of the um instructing self-defense thing. I'm just might help, like Lynn Swan used to, the football player, took ballet, so yeah. So one dude thought he was a martial artist. I went up to his refrigerator and put my foot on the top of his fridge just next to him. He was a friend of mine, though. And he just looked at me like, I said, you might want to try that on your counter and then extend your stretch after that. Oh, yeah. Because he was trying to come on to me. And when that didn't work, then he tried getting intimidating. So that's why I'm like I am, because of the way men present themselves to me. If they're sort of like combative, then I'm going to sort of get combative too. So now that brings me back to, when does our patience run out? Does it take 10, 20, 30 years with a person? What kind of things do they do? Do they um, manipulate the conversation, like uh, they don't really listen to what you have to say, but they expect you to be there for them in everything that they say. That's a big red flag right there. And it doesn't matter who you're dealing with. Patience, yeah, extended to, you know, everybody we meet. But when does being the nice guy make you the bigger person if it gets you in situations that are going to harm you? When does kind and nice and having patience benefit you or not benefit you? So recognizing different patterns, like their ignorance of you or their belittling of you. That's a big one too. People that are of the mindset already that they're better than everybody on the planet. Super big red flag, like I'm the best, this, that, and the next thing, or whatever. And then you have the ones that are, let me think, there was another something on that. Just a sec, I'll get there. Um, they feel entitled to run people over. And see, now that's a big thing with me, is people that will use any part of their personality against another person, whether it's their intelligence, their strength, their looks, whatever it is, their being, your offspring, whatever it is, somebody is using against you. It's a pattern. It's something they do. If it doesn't make you feel good, you can calculate what that pattern is out of somebody that you know really well. That might be something really weird, you know, but like maybe they leave a dirty wash rag on a clean counter or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It just some weird pattern thing that they do that may bother you for some reason, and but they're gonna it why is that? If they know, and there's people, they know your buttons, what buttons to push, whether to pour on the love or withdraw it, or see, give you a little bit, I love you, and then the next day it's like, I may not be loving you if you're gonna bring up what I do every day. I can't do anything right. That type of attitude with people. It's like, whoa. So, I had to learn how to say no with people. The strongest word in the English language, not a whole sentence or a paragraph, and you don't have to explain. There's no explanation after no, you know. You don't have to explain yourself to these people. That's what I'm saying. They expect you to, because you've taken the time before to do just that. And they depend on you being that patient, loving, kind person that you've always been. But what happens when that goes away? They didn't care about that before it went away. They might after, but don't buy into it, because any feeble attempt to connect with you again is going to be the same as it was before, maybe to a lesser degree till they get back in there. And I've experienced this over and over again. Um, yeah, it's not worth it. Not worth it at all. Because it is the same old thing, and it keeps happening the same way it always did. Maybe even worse. I've been around people that I let them back into my life, and that was just a ticket to be even worse than they were before, because that told them that I was a lot weaker and more stupid in their eyes for even coming back into that, because I was their source, their tied to their whipping post. If you know that song, Whipping Post by Stevie Ray Vaughan, it's a good one. I shared some Native American music in my community. David Little Elk is playing a jam on his guitar. That surprised me. Totally awesome. He plays piano and some other instruments, I think, too. Um, Plus, he teaches the Lakota language, so yeah, which is really neat. And he lives in Germany, of all places. That's pretty cool, huh? So, so if you're watching, David, I hope you and your other half are doing great and have a wonderful summer. And your music is spectacular. I really enjoyed it. I thought, I wonder. And then I was like, oh, whoa, jamming. Yeah, that's awesome. How fun, right? So, but yeah, people, patience is not always a virtue. Patience, I don't know who came up with that saying, but patience can be uh, just like turning the other cheek. You can only turn your cheek so many times with some people, and then, I mean, you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation with users and abusers, no matter who they are. I mean, even in the workplace, I've walked out of the workplace in the middle of a job. I mean, it's not my normal thing that I do or had done, but this one time in particular, I did. I just left. So, no, I did that twice. Yes, I did that twice. When I got older, my kids were gone and I didn't care. Yeah, that was fun. I left this one woman that thought she was torturing me. She thought that I had to worry about mortgage payments or whatever. She thought she had me under her thumb. And I waited till we were really busy and I left her there to work like she always did me. I bet she had a good day. Another time I did it to this dude that would sit behind. I was hired to do one thing and they had me doing other things and I was way overqualified. He'd sit behind this glass and watch everybody, and then on top of it, not only was he a perv, he was just what a creep. It would take too much to really explain it, but yeah, it's another place I did that. So yeah, patience isn't always a virtue. Normally and typically. And when you're first getting to know people, of course, patience is a virtue because you have to find out what their needs are and their likes and their dislikes and, you know, how you can communicate and that type of thing. So having patience in that type of situation or in the workplace, having the patience to learn like a new skill or whatever it is, um, a lot of things in the world take patience. But narcissists, that's not some place I'm willing to place my patience anymore. That's gone. It's no longer here. I'm so jumpy right now, and I don't mean jumpy in a bad way, like I look over my shoulder. Because even on this person, I watched their combination. I saw the fear in your eyes. You know, that's why I'm not going to say your name, but I saw it there, your hesitation. Well, you know, whoa is all I can really say. And I know you don't believe in me as much as I believe in myself, but I'm telling you what I saw, you know. So, yeah. Nice combo, though. Not quick enough, but pretty nice. Because in a real combat, you don't have time to calculate what you're going to do. You have to see what they're going to do and how you would counter it. Or, if you're smart, you don't wait to see what they're going to do. You know? So, and if you're not involving your whole body, um, I don't mean like wrestling, but if you don't have the ability to do like a tornado kick or something, or an axe kick or donkey kick or a combination elbow, knee, whatever, strike. Um, and then, like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's little kid could go like that, grab and pull somebody's heart out of their chest with his hand. I use my fingers. I have two things I'll tell you that I do. Not just a pinch, but you use the whole surface of your thumb when you're grabbing skin. And you can grab muscle too and twist that shit if you're in close contact. On nerve endings, oh yeah, practice it. Just it slides. You slide right on there and get that shit. Like that, you know? You have to. You have to know close combat stuff. But if you let somebody get in there that close, you're already hurt, you know? The key thing is don't let them get that close. And so yeah. Like I say, I might have my marks all over my body, but that doesn't mean that all my matches were failures. Um, you know, the scariest person I went up against was the underling of a master in my dojo. When I threw him, oh, that little, well, he wasn't little either, but yeah, that pissed him off. Well, we were sparring. What do you do? You know, if you know judo, which is probably the most bone shattering art of them all. It's the first one, and all other, even wrestling, the mechanics of wrestling, like grappling and whatever, it's all based on judo, you know. Like, for instance, if you got me in a grapple hold, I would make you feel sorry for putting me there. I know some things that you would regret getting that close. Yeah, enough of the combat talk. But, people that expect me to keep being pleasant when they're nasty, I have no patience for that anymore in my life. Especially in a world like this where everybody is so cold-hearted. It's like you got plenty of other people to talk to. Just leave me alone. I don't need it. I'm thriving without it. Thanks. You know, cheers, everybody. Anyway, yeah. But one more thing, I gotta say it again. I saw the fear in your eyes. That's not a good thing, you know? I think, and the reason I saw it when I took self-defense, well, I've never really been a fearful person. I mean, when my life's been in danger, when I was younger, there were times where I had felt fear. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about when I was confronted as an adult with people that would try and bully me. Fear is not what you're getting out of me. You know, anger is the first thing, you know. I'm not to the point of upset. It fuels what comes out, you know. And I've been tried so many times by really bad monsters. So think what you want. I'm confident in me, you know. So enough of that, I think. But I did. I saw the fear, dude. Saw it, you know. Doesn't mean we can't combat if we're a little bit afraid, because I was like intimidated um, by this freak that was supposed to be teaching people, you know. But I wasn't very old back then when I started this, so um, yeah, the fear dissipated after a while when you have things that are like 200 and 300 pounds and 6 foot something and um, worked out just to annihilate you, you know. Anything else after that is just like a piece of cake, you know. So I battle people. You can't knock them over and you can't throw them and you can't hit them hard enough. So anyway, what do you do? you, they better like you, right? Because you won't throw me and you won't push me, and a strike is not going to stop me if you get it in, you know. And endurance, you know, you'd be surprised. Oh, endurance. Hell yes. I got a friend who turned 66 today, and he is going to run a 5K. Isn't that cool? And he's been sober for 20 years. That's totally awesome. Awesomeness, you know? And Chuck Norris is 85 and still kicking butt. Let's see. Oh, and then a sad thing, a friend of mine, Derek, on Facebook, his wife died today. Yesterday, they were planning a vacation. She was 54. So you got like older people thriving and younger people no longer with us, you know, fate, you know. I still say, and this is what it is, this is what it boils down to. It's the difference between being honorable and not being honorable. And within that, when you're confronting somebody, the wrath of the Furies is set behind you. It's a dangerous thing to cross. If you hurt an honorable person or want to, there, you'll have big problems you may not have ever thought. You know, it's the truth. Do you know Bruce Lee moved to America after almost his entire family was murdered by the Dark Cabal? Yeah, true story. So he taught his little children how to combat when they were just tiny, you know. like I was trained when I was tiny. So, really, you wouldn't believe it. You know, not at all. Think my shoulders are big? Should have seen the person that raised me. His biceps were like that. He ran jackhammer, 90-pound jackhammer, and then he had his own concrete masonry, appropriate for a mason, and he also worked for the state, so yeah. No, I battled monsters. I'm not playing, you know. Um, and people that thought they could box, or people that thought they were going to pull a gun or a knife on me, you know. Unless you're actually a murderer, um, weapons may not be a good thing either. You know, sometimes people shouldn't pull a weapon on other people. They could end up not having it work out like they planned, you know. I had somebody waving nunchucks in front of me, and I just grabbed them and held them up like I was going to smack them with them. You know why? Because I wasn't afraid of getting hit by that chuck, which I knew I wasn't going to anyway because I'm far quicker. I ended up with that set of nunchucks. You know? Another guy tried to pull some on me too. I pulled out a bat, a metal bat I kept by the door because I was in the house alone with my kids, you know, and in danger because of the person that I was um, in a married to at the time. You know, real thing. Or a guy that came in my house and wanted looking for my ex, pulling a gun on me in front of my kids, and how I deal with real life situations isn't how a lot of people might deal with them. I'll have patience for new people and little people, but people that have been around me for a very long time and I don't like them, I'll wish them well, but I don't wish to ever have a conversation with people that don't include me in the conversation. You know, it's like people over the internet here. I've had people actually ask me questions, not wait for me to have a response in the next video or anything, but then to ask me a question and then go on to tell me what the answer of that question is about me. They're going to tell me about me. I'm going to ask you a question, then I'm going to tell you the answer, and you don't get a choice to answer. Whether it's true or false, it doesn't matter. They asked the question, they answered the question, and you're not a part of the conversation. You know, that's narcissism 101 right there, you know. Or here's another, um, not only like gaslighting, but it's like a word salad thing they do. They'll get you involved in a conversation about something, and it could be something that either you started the conversation or they did somehow. And keep in mind, you know how you can communicate with people that don't do this to you, that you can carry on a conversation all day for weeks or many times in your life with a person and not have a problem. But then you've got these people where you say something and they'll totally twist what you said and make it into another conversation. Then on top of that, it becomes an argument somehow. You know, the best thing you can do is turn around and walk away. The conversation is over. And if you can't do like I did, totally cut people off, limit your time with those type of people. Don't don't go deep into, they are not deep. Don't go into deep like metaphysical or anything with these people, even if they appear to be like spiritual or whatever. Leave it alone. If they have these patterns where they do these weird things to you and they feel entitled to do those to you, you have to keep track of what those patterns are that those people do and protect yourself from it. You know, nobody deserves to be bullied by another person, no matter how bad off those other people are, or how sad, or how traumatized they've been, whatever they've been through. They can either seek counseling, treat you right, or get the hell out of your life. You know, if they don't want you to counsel them as your friend or family member, get the away from them, because they're only going to keep doing what they've always done. They don't change. We can hope that they will, but they don't. That's the sad thing about it, you know. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to get this uploaded, and I hope you all have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Appreciate you being here. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.